Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Flashback Football, the greatest of the 1980s. Today is the first game, and it is the 1989 Green Bay Packers visiting the 1985, and my personal favorite team of all time, Chicago Bears. So hopefully we'll get a happy ending in this one, but I'm not going to control either team, so we will see how it goes. This, of course, the greatest or most accomplished team from each franchise that was around in the 80s, meaning that 28 teams will be participating. The other four are just, you won't see them televised. Those be in the background, that being, of course, the Jaguars, Panthers, and Texans, and Ravens. There you can take a look at Wilbur Marshall and Mike Singletary. Joining me for this one, or at least the first quarter, first half or so, is Vinny X Wolf, working on his own stuff. Hey, Vinny.
What's up?
And out come the filthy, disgusting Packers.
Go Packers.
Hey, there's Jim McMahon, about to lead his troops onto the field, even though we already saw like 6 of them run out. Jimmy Mack.
Awesome?
What's that?
Wasn't it awesome when Jim McMahon played for the Packers?
No, it was not. You know what also wasn't awesome is when I was going through setting the superstars and the X Factors and stuff, having to give one to that jerk face Tim Harris on the Packers. There's Sterling Sharp. It was okay giving him one, but he wasn't a dirty, rotten scoundrel, horrible person. Here's Jeff Query. He is going to be the first one to catch a ball here. Unless the Bears pull off some sort of onside kick or something. Wouldn't that be a weird way to start the season? All right, let me set this up slow. There we go. Butler's going to kick it off to the Packers.
Kevin Butler from Georgia.
Yes, Kevin Butler. One of the greatest kickers of all time in my eyes because he never double doinked.
And his son who also punted in the NFL, Drew Butler.
Yes, Don Magic Man Magikowski is going to lead the Packers. Oh man, I wish they would have still had him before the ugly days of Favre and Rodgers. It was Magic Man. Of course, you can't get. Unfortunately, you can't get the what a lot of the 80s quarterbacks had, where it was a little bit longer hair, but not Ken Stabler long or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't want to give him the super long hair because he didn't really have that. But just use your imagination. There's a little bit of hair coming out of that helmet. Here's the Packers' offensive line: Rutgers, Morin, Cannon, Hallstrom, and Vengart. Is that right? I'm not sure if the right tackle's right. But Sterling Sharp is the main guy to worry about. And you'll see him with the X up at the top of your screen. Magic Man goes underneath. That should be Woodside, I believe. Running back. Yep.
I just finished the 5th round. I'm going to go download this roster myself.
Oh, you should. I mean, you helped make it.
Yep.
By the way, if you are tuning in and you like the idea of 80s football, I'll go through the teams in a minute, but the roster set is out there. If you want any details in writing as far as what teams are in it and things, that's all on Operation Sports. My name on Operation Sports is Diamond 10, though, so if you're looking for Phantom Fighter, you won't find it. Not sure why that happened, but Diamond 10 for Operation Sports. What was it?
Reingard was the starter, Brengrad.
Okay. And there's Jimmy Mack. At this point, he still knows where he is. And there, of course, the X in the background is the great sweetness himself, Walter Payton. But they're going to come out throwing a screen pass. Here's the Bears' offensive line. Covert, Bortz, Hilgenberg, Thayer, and Van Horn. Walter Payton and Dennis Gentry, the running backs. Willie Galt and Dennis McKinnon are the receivers, and Emery Moorhead is the tight end.
I just watched this team yesterday. Oh, maybe because I did.
So the first run from the 1985 Bears in this season goes to Matsui. Is Ditka doing this again to Peyton? Quick step, or quick two-step drop from Jimmy Mackey. He completes it, but there's a flag. Stupid holding.
What's the name of this roster set again?
Greatest of the 1980s. Something like that. Great teams of the 1980s. I don't know.
I'm going to do the keyword search.
What was it?
80s or 19? Well, I'll just do 80s.
Oh, 1980. Or 1980s would definitely get you there. Walter Payton did get a reception. He just hasn't gotten a carry yet.
Best. I have 34 downloads on my very limited 80s pass ballers playbook, but that's I teach history.
McMahon completes another pass, and McMahon's starting off 3 of 3 for 24 yards. And the Bears are into Packer territory.
80s didn't work, so it came up with mine. So let me try and just do a 1980 search. 1980s.
Dennis McKinnon tackled after just a 7-yard gain. 2nd and 3 coming up. Jim McMahon under center this time.
There it is. You have 55 downloads.
Play action pass. How many dislikes?
1.
Nice. Thanks, sir. Or ma'am. There's Winter, Nelson, Dorsey, and Robert Brown on the defensive line. Ryan Noble in the middle, Anderson, and the disgusting Tim Harris, the outside backers. Stills, Murphy, the safeties, Lee, and Brown, the corners. So, seeing Dave Brown there in the corner of the Packers reminds me that because these teams are from different years, this is the 85 Bears and 89 Packers, you're also going to see Dave Brown on the 84 Seahawks, and that's going to happen. Some guys are going to be at multiple teams because they were just that good that every time they went to a different team, that was that team's best team of that decade.
And then you'll have some guys like Randy Moss and our other set that we're working on isn't on a team.
Randy, oh yeah, true.
He is a free agent.
He will be in the 90s, but not the not the 2000s.
Because we chose 09 Vikings over 2000 Vikings. And 04 Patriots over 07 Patriots.
Yeah, so that's why that with the 07. So again, this is the 1980s, obviously. The goal is that we'll be bringing a roster from each decade. Who knows how long that will take. But we are working on the 2000s now. And I'm sure that'll get done within a few months. And then we'll see where we're at with the other ones. But the idea of why I wanted to specifically call it the greatest is because of the stupid 2007 Patriots. Because I know there's a whole lot of people that think the 2007 Patriots were the greatest or second greatest team of all time. Or best, I should say. But they didn't win anything. So you can't be great if you don't win it all. So the 2004 Patriots were a greater team. And speaking of great, Walter Payton just got in the end zone. And the Bears take the lead 6-0. But yes, greatest team. So for the most part, it's the team that made it the furthest. Obviously, there was ties. I mean, there was no doubt for the Bears. The 85 Bears won the Super Bowl, and they didn't have any other team in the 80s win the Super Bowl. So sometimes there's easy cases like that. And then other times there's, maybe they won the division 2 or 3 times and lost in the first round of the playoffs each time, and you just had to pick which team we thought was the best. So actually, with that said, maybe I'll just go ahead and run through the list real quick here, as People may not want to watch the entire game, but want to know who's in the roster set. So we'll go, not alphabetically, we'll go chronologically. So from the 1980 season, we have the Atlanta Falcons, Philadelphia Eagles, who went to the Super Bowl and lost, and the San Diego Chargers and Air Coryell. 1981 is the Dallas Cowboys, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No team from the 82 season, mostly because it was a striked shortened season, and it's hard to kind of compare those teams to teams that played full years. Oh, let's talk about this defense real quick. Hampton, McMichael, Perry, and Dent on the defensive line. Mike Singletary in the middle, Otis Wilson, Wilbur Marshall. I love every name on this defense. Dave Duerson, Gary Fensick are the safeties. Mike Richardson and Leslie Frazier are the corners. And in my mind, that's 11 Pro Bowlers. Not really. I think they only had like 5. But pretty awesome defense. Going back to the teams, again, nobody from 82 and 83. Detroit Lions and Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Raiders. 84 is a big year. We got the LA Rams and Eric Dickerson's 2,100 yards. Miami Dolphins and Dan Marino's 5,000 yards. Pittsburgh Steelers, the Seattle Seahawks, and their 432 turnovers that they forced. The 84 St. Louis Cardinals, because, I mean, it's the Cardinals, don't have many choices. In 85, you got the Bears, Patriots, and Jets. 1986, Cleveland Browns, Kansas City Chiefs, New York Giants. So this was one of those tough choices with the Broncos. So the Broncos made it to the Super Bowl and lost in 86, 87, and 89. We went with 89, but it was close between the 89 and the 86 one. And 89 just happened to win. So if you're Steve Atwater fans, you'll be happy with that decision. If you're fans of some other players, you might be mad that we went that way, but oh well. The 87 season brings us the Colts and the great, how do you say his name? Hogaboom and Trudeau quarterback controversy. The 87 Dome Patrol Saints. Of course, the 87 champion Washington Redskins, where they won the Super Bowl with all their backups playing for some reason. The 88 Buffalo Bills. That's got to get you excited, Vinny. That was 88 the year that they started getting good, or were they good in 87? I don't even remember.
It was 88 was the first playoff year since 81, and it was the first of the 4 straight AFC East championships.
Yeah.
AFC East championships.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I know that's, and we'll see him. Cornelius Bennett is going to look weird wearing 55 to me, just because I always remember it was 97, but he's on the team. He's still really good. He just happens to be a number that you're not used to, probably. Also in 88, the Houston Oilers, Minnesota Vikings, and the Cincinnati Bengals, who almost took down the great 49ers. Wow. But, of course, Joe Montana did his thing in the last couple minutes of that Super Bowl. And then in 89, you got the Super Bowl batting Denver Broncos and San Francisco 49ers. And this team, the 89 Packers, who are nowhere near as good as those other 2 teams I just mentioned.
It's an interesting upload. 111 NFL scoring plays from the 1960s.
Oh, wow.
It's a video you might want to check out. It's by Dave Volsky. Might help you with your ratings.
Yeah. Not that they matter in Sack to the Future, because Dick Wood's better than Len Dawson, but sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, in the...
so I can't share it.
Oh, okay.
So you'll have to remember 111 scoring plays from the 1960s.
Yep.
NFL.
Yeah, I'll definitely want to check that out. So anyways, that's a look at the teams that are in the rosters and will be in this season. And while I was saying all that, Magic Man led the Packers to a field goal. So it is 7-3 now, Bears.
Here's a good video, and Americans sew face masks for health workers. Of course, they're not sewing they would, the protective face masks. They're sewing covers, and we had somebody do that for my wife. My wife, of course, works in a hospital, has to wear a face mask nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And she sewed creative, colorful face masks to put over them. This woman.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
very much appreciate stuff like that. And if you want to do that and send more to Vinny X Wolf, Jesus, I don't want to give my address out. How the hell would I do that? Contact me. They're really doubting we're going to do it anyway, so.
Yeah. I didn't know if you were going to just spit out your address to the whole YouTube world.
Yeah,
right there.
I got to think, I was like, no way, I don't do that. and the address I give everybody north of Toronto, New York, isn't exactly an address, so.
Right. There's Walter Payton getting another first down. He has 5 carries, 31 yards, and a touchdown. Like I said, oh, he just went off. Walter Payton is on fire now. This could get interesting. I wasn't able to do too much testing with the X Factors. I did a little bit of preseason stuff. And I think that I picked the right guys to be the X Factors, but we'll see if X Factors make the stats or games get out of control. I don't think so. I think they're pretty well balanced, but we'll see. Walter Payton's first carry on fire. He only gets like 2 yards, so 3 yards, I guess. Bears are up to 100 yards. Hand off to Payton again. Oh, there he runs over a man and then spins past another guy, and that was pretty nice. 3rd and 1, and somebody else is in there. Tailback now. Oh, it's Matsui. Matsui gets the first down. 3 carries, 24 yards for Sui. So the Bears mixing it up. Both running backs are productive so far. The 85 Bears a better offense than they get credit for, but certainly not anywhere near the reason that they won the Super Bowl. It was all about the defense. But a very above average offensive line, all-world running back, decent receivers, not anything to write home about, but decent. And pretty good quarterback. In the history of the Bears, you'd call him a great quarterback, but that's just because the Bears have a problem getting quarterbacks. For the rest of the league, he's a winner, but he's not a Dan Marino or anything. McMahon fires out to the side and completes, but that's going to be short of the first down. So they'll bring up a 3rd and 3. Payton's still on fire. I think he'll stay that way until he gets tackled behind the line. Here's a screen pass to Walter Payton. He's got 1 blocker, but that's not going to be enough. Forced out of bounds. And now Kevin Butler from Georgia will come out for the chip shot field goal. This guy doesn't miss when it's inside 40, and he doesn't miss here. That's good. It's 10-3 Bears.
Here's a good video. 10 Patriot greats were busts after they left New England.
Foreshadowing.
I hope so.
Why? I wonder why you would care if he's good or not in Tampa Bay.
Because Atlanta's in that division?
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's true. I was going to say unless he meets Buffalo in the Super Bowl, in which case just be happy that Buffalo's in the Super Bowl.
Huh.
It's got to be Buffalo's division this year. It's got to be.
I sure hope so. Haven't won the division since 1998.
Wow.
No, no, we didn't win 98 either. Miami did 96.
Yeah, it seems like somebody else is due to win that division. The injury season of Tom Brady was the Dolphins won that one too, right?
Mm-hmm. Dolphins won that one, yep.
Yeah, so
The
the
Jets
Jets and
won the year 02, the year after the Patriots' first Super Bowl. And then the Dolphins won the injury year, so.
yep.
And the Colts have won the AFC East more recently than the Bills have.
Wow, that's saying
Yeah.
something. Richard Dent sacks Don Majkowski, and get used to that. Richard Dent getting a sack. He is definitely a X factor in this league, and he deserves to be the greatest pass rushers of all time. And there's a lot of them in this league. There's no Reggie White though, because the Eagles team is the 1980 Eagles, and they were in the Super Bowl, so that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But don't worry, he'll probably be on 2 teams in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Walter Payton, 8 carries, 49 yards, and a touchdown. It's going to be hard for me in the other decades because well, I mean, for you, the Bills, 88 to 91. First of all, that's not that much different, but the 91 Bills are better than the 88 Bills. But a lot of your guys are still there. But when I have to go to even the 2006 Bears, I like them, but they're nothing like the 85 Bears. Although the 70s team will probably still have Walter Payton, it just won't have any of these other guys.
I'll be right back.
Yep. See total yards. Bears 147, the Packers just 37. Jimmy Mack looking deep. He's going all the way, and it's knocked out at the last minute. He went for the home run ball there. But it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. And now McMahon goes not as deep, but still deep enough to McKinnon. That's a gain of about 25 yards. And Jimmy Mack goes over 100 yards, 11 to 15 for 101. The Bears offense up to 174 yards already.
Greatest for the 1980 set. ST had a video earlier today, huh? Redskins, Falcons. Hello?
Redskins and Falcons. Yeah, that was trying a preseason game out, actually. Just because I was kind of watching some of the X Factors and seeing how they were doing and stuff. And I just put that one out there just to see. Here's Walter Payton, gets past one guy down to the 3-yard line. Yeah, you were kind of faint at first. That's why I didn't respond at first, but then I heard you talking about the Redskins and Falcons. Payton again, and again he's stuffed. Unable to get in the end zone on the first 2 carries. So I guess we can tell you why the 89 Packers were picked. Of course, if you watch this at all, you will understand how great the 85 Bears are because I'll talk about it all the time. But the 89 Packers, they were 10-6. They finished in 2nd place, actually, in the division. And if you want to know why my favorite decade of football is the 80s, it's because that's the decade that has the most times where the Bears finished above the Packers. But in 89, that was not the case. The Packers were in 2nd, where the Bears had their fall-off season, where they finished in 4th. The Vikings of 89 actually finished in 1st place. Both teams were 10-6 though. The Packers only outscored their opponents by 6 points the whole year, so they weren't a ridiculous, overpowered team or anything. But they did score points. 8th best offense in the league in '89. And again, not everyone has a Super Bowl champion, so there will be some difference in teams, like you'll see here in this game. The '85 Bears and '89 Packers, both playoff teams, though, so the games will still be competitive and still be close. But I would say the Bears should win this thing by more than a touchdown. Right now they're up by only a touchdown.
The Bears should win their division.
Bears should definitely win their division as the only Super Bowl champion. Oh, there's a fumble forced. I wasn't sure he came up with the ball, but they're saying reception and forced fumble. Let's see. Majikowski gets it out. Oh, yeah, no, he caught it. He made his football move, and then he got clocked by Dave Duerson. I'm not sure how Leslie Frazier recovered that without going out of bounds, though. Hopefully they won't look at it.
Yeah, I just saw the replay.
Yeah. Hey, they're going to stick with it. All right. Okay. Well, I guess when you create the league, you can create the refs, too. No, I'm just kidding. McMahon just throws that. That's the button I want. When I'm controlling him, I want to be able to fire the ball aimlessly into the ground so you don't get sacked. Oh, well. At least McMahon can do it. Uh-oh. That just turned off the X Factor. Walter Payton gets tackled behind the line by Anderson. Well, it was good while it lasted. Back to the Packers, by the way. Let's see. They oh, there's a wide open touchdown. I was going to say the big thing the Packers did well is they threw the ball over 4,000 yards. But their defense allowed over 2,000 yards rushing. So that plays into the Bears' strength of being able to run the ball. And Jimmy Mack actually having no problem throwing it either. So the Packers with 18th ranked defense out of 28 teams in that single season. And then you're going up to the greatest teams in the decade. So they were a bottom half defense in the 1 year. And then you compare that throughout the whole decade. Yeah, their defense is going to have problems. And they've already given up 17 points here this half. The other teams in the division are the 83 Lions. They were a 9-7 team, I'm pretty sure, maybe 10-6. But they were nothing close to the Bears either. So their main competition will probably come from the Vikings. Just because I think the Vikings in '88 were they 12-4? Let me check real quick here. The Vikings 10-6 in '89, but we went with the '88. They were 11-5, so only one game better than the Packers, but they were 4th best offense and 2nd best defense. And mainly, I'm talking about that defense will be able to keep games close, even the games against the Bears. So that's going to be, in theory, the Bears' competition will be from the Vikings. Oh, and just like that, we had another guy. Is that Richard Dent that went on fire? Majikowski's 11 of 13 with only 50 yards. It's hard to get many yards against this defense. As you can see right now, one guy's lit up and 2 other guys have stars under him. That is not fun throwing against this 85 team. Magic Man gets rid of that one, throws it to the sidelines. I think it was caught, but only for 3 yards. Caught by Kemp on the sidelines. So Majikowski doing a good job not taking a bunch of sacks. He's only been sacked once, getting the ball out of his hands. He just can't get any yards because the Bears don't let you have time to get routes down the field. pretty much exactly how I hoped the game would be playing out. The Bears defense is dominant. Oh, and here's a nice highlight on Dennis Gentry since he's done absolutely nothing today. 0 rushes, 0 touches. But let's highlight him. And he's calling the play in the huddle. And he's not on the field. Very good, EA Sports. Highlight a man that hasn't done a thing, make him call the play in the huddle, but then he's not on the field for the play. McMahon, 14 of 19, 145 yards and a touchdown. So in a league that has Montana, Kelly, Marino, who else we got? Machikowski. Other Bartkowski on the Falcons. But it's McMahon who might lead the league in passing if he keeps playing like this. McMahon gets rid of that one, and that's on time, and that's to Walter Payton, who turns it into a first down. 20 attempts in the first half for McMahon. I'm not sure I saw that coming. Maybe he's just trying to get his yards in while he's playing a relatively weak defense. And just to make sure Walter Payton doesn't get too tired, they give Suey his 4th carry. And then call timeout.
It's after midnight here on the East Coast. I don't know what you're watching.
Flashback football is what I called it. Oh, there's a screen pass to Walter Payton. He makes a move for no apparent reason and gets a couple yards out of it. Timeout number 2. Walter Payton has 4 catches so far today. As the Bears just keep throwing. That's complete and makes one man miss, and that's enough to get a first down for Dennis McKinnon. McMahon 17 of 22. That could be a full game's worth. I just don't know exactly what Dick has got in mind here, but he wants to punish the Packers for some reason, and I'm okay with it. McMahon had all day on that one, but he can only find Walter Payton for short yardage, and that's their last time out, still not in field goal range. McMahon's going to roll out a little bit, fire to Emery Moorhead, but that's tackled inbounds. Let's see if they can spike it. Nope, they run out of time, and it is halftime with the Bears leading 17-3. This is the opening game of the season, so there won't be anything to look at halftime. Let's just look at some yardage real quick. The Packers have 47 total yards. The Bears are at almost 250. If only Sack to the Future was in the 85 season. I feel like the Bears have had the ball the entire game. And McMahon comes out from the shotgun. Looks like they're going to continue to throw. McMahon takes a couple steps to the right and then throws it into the ground. There we go. A couple tight ends out there now. Looks like get some Walter Payton action. No, it's an end around. And it works beautifully. A gain of about 21 yards to Willie Galt. Well, he's a fast one. So, I guess it's worth trying. Of course, I tried to give the teams the best modern playbooks that would make them run the ball as much as possible. But you have to live with end arounds and things like that because people don't just line up and smash mouth anymore.
You might want to look up I
What's
teach
that?
histories, playbooks.
Yeah, well, they don't work in franchise though.
No.
No, you can only play them on the Play Now, which are great playbooks. I did that in some of my roster tests. I teach histories. playbooks from the 80s are really, really good. I think he has one playbook where your only play from shotgun is the Hail Mary. So it's just all under center. And it's great looking, but it breaks in franchise for some reason.
That's weird because I use a custom playbook in our franchise.
Yeah, well, you can use it if you control only one team, but if you try to do, where you have full control of the division or whatever, for some reason it breaks. I don't know exactly why. Oh, that's a fumble because he threw it behind the line of scrimmage. And then Galt picks it up and fumbles again. So McMahon and Galt both fumbled the ball on that play. And the Packers are getting absolutely destroyed in every category except for turnovers are even, and now they'd still have to score 2 touchdowns against this defense, so not too worried, but if you just let them hang around, anything can happen.
Here's an upload that both you and Terrence would like. Full game of the 2016 NFC Divisional Playoff Packers Cowboys.
Why would I like that?
Shows Packers, and they win.
Yeah. I think the Packers always beat the Cowboys, don't they?
Nowadays, yeah. Not back in the 90s.
Right, yeah, the early 90s. That's the... Surprisingly, I mean, that's when the Cowboys were really good, to where most people should hate them. But that's where I was okay with them, because at least they were pounding Brett Favre. Of course, then in the middle of the 90s, Brett Favre took over, and that was no fun. Second and 17 here. I'm going to hand it off to, that's Woodside again. Woodside 3 carries. So the Packers were interesting as far as the running backs are concerned. They had two of their running backs had over 40 catches on the year. But their best running back at running the football was not much of a receiving back in Fullwood. So, I think that's what it is. So I like to set up the formation subs for the teams to make sure, like when they go in shotgun formation or anything that's a passing formation, they'll have Woodside out there because he's the pass-catching running back, and Fullwood's the running back, and you can't do those with custom playbooks. Right. That's what it is.
Yep.
It breaks with custom playbooks for whatever reason. So you got to pick your poison. You either have to go with too much shotgun and plays you might not want to see, although the shotgun was definitely used in the 80s. I mean, it's not like the 60s or something where you wish it would be eliminated altogether. But you either have to live with those kind of plays, or you have to live with them never handing off to the fullback or second running back.
Right. Here's another one you'd love. A Football Life, Brett Favre.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually, I'm okay. I've seen some Brett Favre stuff, and I'm okay with, like when he's on now and he's talking about stuff, I actually like listening to it. And he talks about, his practices, how Holmgren was yelling at him and stuff. I like him now that he's retired. I don't know if I'll ever like Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. Favre just seems like someone I would like if he wasn't on the Packers. Like the way he plays and everything. But Rodgers just, I don't know if it's just because he's a Packer. I think there's other stuff that bother me about him. There's McMahon that overshoots Willie Galt and throws it right into the hands of Dave Brown. And that's the second time the Bears have turned the ball over on this side of the field. So in the first half, their offense looked like it was a secret. No one told you how good the 85 Bears offense really was, but now they're showing why they have to rely on their defense to win games. The Packers have 12 yards rushing and 43 yards passing. Still better than the Patriots did in that Super Bowl. Oh, Majikowski's going to take off running. And he did that probably more than any other quarterback in this roster set. Because we, again, don't have Cunningham in here or anything. So Magic Man is probably your best quarterback runner.
Mikowski.
We'll send Woodside in motion and then get a delay of game. Nice.
Delay of game, offense.
So that will push the Packers back 5 yards. There's a handoff to Fontenot, who get his second carry of the game. So the Packers will use many backs, whereas the Bears, for the most part, are going to use Walter Payton 90% of the time, and then Matt Zui to spell him here and there. But you see the Packers have given multiple carries to multiple backs, and none of them have been effective. 3rd and 18 now. How would you like to look at that defensive line of the Bears on a 3rd and 18? Majkowski gets hit, but does get the ball away, and it's incomplete. Vinny, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Because all of a sudden I saw the viewer thing hit 0, and then I didn't hear you saying anything. I thought maybe.
I switched my phone to my TV. I should have one, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, YouTube's always been like that. You never really know how many viewers you have. But, yeah, I was just like, oh, maybe he just decided that's it. I'm done. It's after midnight. Play action pass. Jim McMahon continues to go to the air. Completes to Willie Gault. And Willie Gault fumbles again. That's 2 fumbles for Willie Gault. Oh my gosh, not a good start to the season for the track star who needs to...
Anybody who flies into Florida from New York must self-quarantine for 14 days.
Really?
Mm.
Well, I know they already had a couple weeks ago. I know people. There was that story of that guy that knew he had the virus and still went to Florida anyways from New York, and they didn't make him do anything. Then. Matsui gets his 5th carry, averaging almost 5 yards a carry. So even though I will talk up the 85 Bears, I will not sing the Super Bowl Shuffle, so you guys don't have to worry about that. Maybe on the day when there's no viewers. No. Oh, Willie Gault burns his man with all that speed, and then McMahon can't hit him. Ugh. Jimmy Mack would have liked to have that one back. 2nd and 10, delayed handoff to Suey again. And he gets taken down behind the line by Brian Noble. Quick throw to Walter Payton, just to get a couple of the yards closer for Kevin Butler, and we're going to see if Butler can make it from 47. Inside 40, he's pretty much perfect. 40 to 50 is you never know, but he's good there from 47. So the Bears finally make it a 3-score game, and the way their defense is playing, pretty sure this game's been over for a while. Just what will the final score be? Just kind of taking a look at the games down below, see what could be coming. I haven't decided what games will be coming your way. Of course, it's Madden 20, so you should know the schedule to know what the Sunday night and Monday night games are. But as far as any of the Sunday day games, I don't know. I'll just have to see one that I like, I guess. 84 Steelers, 85 Patriots. That's not going to happen. You're not going to see the Saints beat up on a USFL team or anything like that. 89 Broncos and 83 Raiders could be good. That's pretty good. The Super Bowl champion against the Super Bowl loser. But at least we're in the Super Bowl. McMahon started off 19-24. Since then, he's been 5 of 9. Overall, not too bad. He did throw that one bad interception, though. And Walter Payton breaks 2 tackles behind the line, and then a 3rd tackle. 3 broken tackles to get 3 yards. That is vintage Walter Payton right there. Now they'll throw it to him. Walter Payton does it all. Blocking, running, receiving, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter. The Bears in total control 20-3. Payton 7 catches on the day. Play action pass and runs right into a sack. Oh. Murphy comes up, gets the sack, and does a boxing celebration afterwards, even though his team has been outgained by 300 yards and he's down by 3 scores.
Alright, well, this game's pretty much over. I think I'm going to head out.
Okay. All
Have a good
right,
night.
Whitney. Yep. We'll
Go
see you
Bulls.
tomorrow. Have a good one. Now, just because Vinny doesn't believe in the Packers doesn't mean this thing's over. I'm just kidding. It's definitely over. The Bears' 85 defense is too good for to give up 3 scores in a quarter. The only excitement that might be left is, are we going to get the game in under an hour? They're full 15-minute quarters, but with some clock acceleration on there. So the more of a running game you have, the quicker the game will go. But typically I shoot to try to make it a minute per real minute. So since this is, 3 quarters be done at the 45-minute mark, but it was done at about 46 and a half. So 4th quarter would have to go quick for us to get in under an hour. There's a draw play. The Bears didn't see that coming. Fontenot gets some yardage, 3 carries, 9 yards. Now got the 1st down. Low snap, Magic Man able to get it from his shoestrings and then give it to Fontenot, who gets a few yards. Haven't seen much of their actual top running back, Fullwood, as he has, the Bears got the lead early, and the Packers have kept in their receiving backs for the most part, Woodside and Fontenot, as Majkowski is going to have to go to the air a lot here. The Packers are up to 113 total yards. This is their best. Well, they did get a field goal earlier. This is one of their 2 best drives of the game, though, so far. Fontenot carries the ball for the 5th time, just 9 yards, though, on 5 carries. Majkowski now sends a man in motion, and he waited so long to send him in motion. He went down to about 5 seconds before he sent the running back in motion, and then couldn't get the snap off in time. If you're going to go in motion, you got to start it sooner than that. He stood there for about 5 seconds, didn't do anything, then sent him in motion. It looks like they're going with the same play. And Majkowski will throw it underneath, complete it, but he's tackled by Mike Singletary. Mike Singletary, when he gets his arms on you, you're pretty much going down. So he's an excellent tackler. 3rd and 14. Majkowski slings it to the sidelines. It gets the first down. Nice throw there by Magic Man. 20 of 25. That's pretty impressive. Not a huge amount of yardage, though. But still, Majkowski's played quite well, considering the defense that he's playing against. And there's a handoff to Fullwood. Just his second carry for the #1 running back of the Packers. They have definitely gone with the receiving backs in this one. I think they might be just, since they're down here in the red zone, they just want to get the feeling of getting a touchdown. So they'll give it to Fullwood again. But McMichael's there taking up the entire gap himself. And now it's 3rd and 10, and they're going with another power I formation. And they will hand it off again. And this time, Sean Gale comes in. They must have been in like a dime defense to let Gale get in there. The backup safety makes a nice solid tackle there, or at least holds him long enough for Morrissey to get in there, which is a backup linebacker. So maybe the Bears defense was just tired. They had a couple backups in there on that play. But the Packers will settle for the field goal. They needed to get 3 scores. One of them might as well be a field goal. That's what they got. 7 minutes to go. It's a 2-score game. The Packers do have all 3 of their timeouts. So in theory, the game's not over yet. If the Packers can get a 3-and-out, then it might become more believable. But if the Bears get a couple first downs, then we can be sure that it's over. McMahon with a pump fake. Has good time. Looks deep. And, oh, what a great adjustment made and a sensational catch by Dennis McKinnon. That was a great catch. He spun away from the, let's see this on the replay. McMahon airs it out, goes deep. McKinnon spins away from the defender and makes the catch. Look at this. Spin, is it a push off? Either way, it's a completion. And Singletary will sit down now. He knows his job is done. The Bears are definitely winning this one. McKinnon having a day. So is Jim McMahon. He's over 300 yards now. Did not expect that. Emery Moorhead's got 8 catches for 92 yards, and Dennis McKinnon's over 130. So McMahon throwing the aerial display out there that people did not expect to see. And Walter Payton hasn't been completely forgotten. 77 yards with a touchdown. He also has 7 receptions, I believe. The Bears have run 60 plays. They've felt like they've had the ball the entire time. And they have 60 plays run by the Bears. If the Packers are somewhere close to 40. So Kevin Butler on the quick deep throw to McKinnon. Butler quickly answers the field goal the Packers just got. And there's 4.5 to play and 6 minutes left in the hour. So suddenly there is a chance that this game will get in less than an hour. There's a huge return by Query. In fact, he gets all the way across midfield. What a run back. So a little bit of a bright spot there. A heck of a run. Back on the kick. 20, gets a block, 30, and then that block right there was huge at the 32. Sprung him another 25 yards. All the way down to the 45. In total yards, you see it's 411 to 135 in favor of the Bears. Majkowski will stand back, and that was read. That was read beautifully by Singletary, and he's able to knock it down, or knock the receiver down as he went to make the catch. Bears rushing 4, and that's still enough. But Magic, wow, that was a great throw. How did he even get that throw off accurately? He just kind of sidearm slung it out of there and did complete it for a gain of a few yards, making it a 3rd and 2. See if the Bears bring the pressure. They only rushed 4, but those guys are good enough to get pressure on their own. And the Packers will get some yards, but Fullwood's not able to get the first down. It's 4th and 1. That wasn't Fullwood. That was Fontenot. 4th and 1. Who's in at running back? I wish I could see. Should probably turn the names on. Majkowski completes it short, gets the first down. They go to receiver Sterling Sharp. Packers have hit 150 total yards now. Little screen pass setting up here. Complete, but the Bears all over it. And between Morrissey and McMichael, they don't give up very many yards. Two-minute warning. Packers tried to turn the great field position given to them by kick returner Query into points. 3rd and 4. A low snap, but they get the handoff to Fontenot, and he picks up the first down. Packers down by 3 scores. They have all their timeouts, but 3 scores is just too many. And there's another short completion. So Majkowski, 26 of 32. Now he rolls to the right and gets the throw away, and that's thrown away on purpose. So again, Majkowski, pretty decent completion percentage and no turnovers. That's what you got to do to give yourself a chance. But they're still, even with all that, they're still down by 3 scores. 4th and 8 coming up. Let's see if they'll go for the field goal. They will not. They want the touchdown. Knowing the game's pretty much over, they just want the satisfaction of getting in the end zone against these Bears. See if the Bears can keep them out of there. Good protection at first, but then McMichael gets in there and forces Majkowski to throw up a prayer, and Fensick comes up with the interception. And the Bears, that's just icing on the cake, finally forcing a turnover. Oh no, that was the second one they forced. So the turnovers are now even at 2 apiece, and now a few runs to Walter Payton should end this thing. Nope, McMahon not done. He's at 300 yards and he wants more. Comes up firing into all kinds of traffic, but somehow finds his man Matsui for the first down. Okay, now would you please just hand the ball off? McMahon trying to put the fear into Dan Marino with this many passing yards. Walter Payton gets hit at the line, and that will do it. So that was it. That was the first game here for Flashback Football, the greatest teams of the 1980s. The 1985 Bears are victorious against the 1989 Packers. I don't even know what game's coming up next, but it will be between 2 very good teams from the 80s, and it will probably be in a week or less. So hit that notification button and subscribe, and check out not only this content, but of course Sack to the Future is the thing that you'll see the most on this channel. That will be explained tomorrow if you come back for a Sack to the Future game. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, everyone.